Brian Gregory is the founder and CEO of Amanity and creator of the breakthrough algorithms that are changing the way small businesses market and promote. You're about to discover the 15 primal emotions that have sold everything on earth and how you can harness the power to sell everything you have to offer. If you're frustrated by ads that don't convert, emails that don't get open, and social media posts that don't get clicked, pay close attention as Brian reveals the secrets of human persuasion. Incredibly, you'll also discover how you can get all the answers for your own brand in just 5 minutes. Please welcome the CEO and founder of Amanity, Mr. Brian Gregory. All right, Brian, it's wonderful to have you here. And I'm really excited to talk about the marketing world where, most of us lose our money before we even start the project. And I can testify to that. Going 10 years of marketing for my, when I wrote my book. And so I want to talk about smart money and saving the money that you're wasting in marketing.
That's, such a great topic. It's potentially endless topic where,
Right.
you wonder how much money is being wasted in ads and things that don't work for people, and especially in small business. And I'm going to go a little bit on a limb here. I'm going to give you my best gut instinct estimate on that. And that is 90% of all the money spent on Main Street USA for ads and social media ads and everything else that you can buy is completely 100% ineffective. And it's nice to get your name out there, and you should definitely get your brand seen if not remembered. But if you have the wrong message, not only does it not work and your money goes away, but it can actually put dents in your branding armor so that you are thought of less and less in the marketplace. It can have a negative effect if you don't do it right. And that's what started our company and gave us our mission is for 20 years, I was in advertising watching people do it wrong. And it's not their fault. They didn't know. No one showed them. There's no school for this. And, in college, we don't even learn this stuff. Even in marketing classes, they don't teach you the finer points. So there's a big need for it. And your show's perfect because
Right.
a lot of money is being thrown down the drain. We got to stop that.
Right. We're talking about safe money, never losing a dime or using the money to repurpose itself so it quantums and it's bringing back more to you when you're advertising. And I'm sure you've seen why a lot of small businesses, what are they doing actually incorrectly when they're advertising?
It's a good question. Again, it could be a long list, but let me just say small businesses have the impression that because they're small, they're mom and pop, or let's say they're $1 million business. That's considered small in our country. And they think I can't do it like the big guys. I see the commercials on TV, but I'm a small company. So I have to think
Right.
differently. And what that means to them is, well, I've got to explain it a lot more. And I've really got to tell people what I'm all about. And I got to educate them, and I got to give them bullets and reasons and facts and bore them to death
Boring.
with ads that nobody wants to read. And
Right.
in reality, what they should be doing is exactly what the big companies are doing. Now, you don't have the budget. I know you can't spend $1 million on a commercial. Get it? But you look at what emotions they're pulling out of that commercial. What are they triggering in the consumer? What are they trying to get you to feel? And trust me, they spend millions to figure that out. So if you can find a big company that's got something similar to you and they're doing really, really well and they're making zillions of dollars, just do what they do, only tone it down to your size budget. But emotions are free, words are free, formulas are free, colors are free. You don't have to be this complicated little business that keeps wasting its money. By the way, all the biggest brands in the world use emotions to sell their product, almost no facts involved. And all the smallest companies in the world are using facts and rational thought to try to sell their products. So think, kind of think about it that way, if you will.
Right, right. Well, you've developed the adminity, right? Protocol.
Admanity, yeah, admanity.
Admanity, like
Mhm.
humanity, but so you're connecting with humanity. Is it
That's
right?
exactly the two
Right?
words we put together: advertising and humanity. Very
Right.
good.
Very cool. And so there's a protocol that you call, quote, primal emotions. What are these primal emotions about?
These are the caveman knuckle dragging basic installation emotions that we all have. So you've experienced them your whole life. Hey, how about happiness? How about temptation? How about attraction, trust, approval, belonging, a sense of community, altruism, the empathy for another, innovation, a curiosity about something new and different, uh, greed, ego, envy. These are considered sometimes negative emotions, but guess what? They make things sell if you use them in a sort of a positive way. And so these are basic emotions. We found 15 in our research. Took us a long time to isolate the 15. And what we did is we looked at all the ads for the last 100 years that did really, really well, just the winners. Okay. We didn't study losing ads. We studied home run, change the game. Wow, our business is going to the moon. Thanks, because we did this ad, right? And if you break them down, you start to see the same emotions in these campaigns, the same triggers, the same formula, the same combinations of emotions in the same ads. And you realize, wait a minute, they're all doing something very similar, and they're all using these 15 emotions. So that gave our company a start to these primal emotions. And what we do is we show you which ones work for you, so that you don't have to wonder anymore. You can just go do it, because we give you the formulas. We say, hey, for you, use this and this and this and this, and it'll work really, really well for you. And we just spell it out like that. And it's real easy to understand. But if you didn't have somebody kind of pointing that out, I mean, you could throw a dart at a giant spinning wheel of human emotions and never hit the right ones.
Right. I could sure see that. And not knowing anything about marketing, I tried all that and it didn't work. Imagine that. But you've developed a really cool report, right? Maybe you could talk a little bit about what's you offered it to me too to check out this amenity, humanity with ad, right? Ad,
Yeah,
yeah, protocol there.
what we've done is we've made it easy. So we created, it took 7 years. So what I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, you'll be able to take a 5-minute online assessment, but it took 7 years for us to be able to say that, to make sure that it functioned exactly right for any kind of business that could possibly ever take this assessment. Because we that's what we say. Any business in the world can take Admanity, the Admanity assessment at admanity.com. And if your listeners will hang out with us for a few more minutes, we're going to share with them a way that they can actually get the Admanity assessment for free. And so we ask a series of true, false questions, really easy questions. Anybody in business can answer these questions. No financials. We don't care how many employees you have or how long you've been doing it. We ask simple emotional questions. And from that, we can archetype your brand or isolate the emotions most notable for you, most useful, the powerful ones, the ones that are going to actually sell something, the only ones you really care about, to be honest. We can show you those, and we can show you the formulas that work for you. And it's an enlightening experience. The term we hear most often, I mean, we've done this so many times for businesses, and the words come back: mind blowing. That is what people say, because for the first time, they understand exactly what their brand is, exactly what motivates people to buy it, exactly which emotions are going to do that, and in what order, and so many other things that we can share with you. And that all happens in 5 minutes, and it's hard to believe. It blows your mind. But when you start reading your results, I'm just going to say, um, seeing is believing, and the proof is in the pudding, and all those kind of phrases. It will convince you, And it will hopefully help you so much to, because if you didn't do this, what would you do? You could hire an ad agency. They're great. They're awesome, but they're expensive. And most small businesses will never hire an ad agency. In fact, 99% will not. To draw a comparison to what you do, can you imagine if 99% of small businesses never hired an accountant? Can you imagine 99% did not know where their numbers were, their money was? What would happen to those people? Those poor people would go out of business. Well, I'm telling you, 99% of small businesses right now couldn't tell you the two most important emotions to sell their product. And if you can't do that, you need to take our assessment, because we're going to share those types of things with you. Otherwise, you're just, guessing and hoping. And that's a horrible business plan, guessing and hoping. Not a good
No,
idea.
it doesn't work. You never get to where you're going to go,
No.
right? Or you want to go. And so now when you take the assessment, do you have a next step, like where I could take that information and create like a sales process or a funnel or marketing pieces with that? How's that work?
Yeah, great question. We give you for free a chance to see the assessment. You get a personal portal. It's a digital portal where your materials are there, and you get access to 200 million stock photos, because every business needs some photos sooner or later. So we have the third largest photo library in the world at your fingertips. So we give you some nice toys to play with, but and it'll open your eyes to who you are. And if you like what you see, if you like what you read, you can opt to purchase a little more from us. Nothing we do is really expensive, but it will give you the actual formulas, the actual words, colors, phrases, metaphors, upsells, how to win back lost customers, the customer avatar. What are they thinking just before they hand you the credit card? We'll tell you. Why is the subconscious mind your customer? Right, like right now, we're being very conscious. We're very intellectual as we're having this conversation. But you'll decide whether you like what I'm saying subconsciously, and you'll make every purchase decision your entire life subconsciously. The logical brain hasn't bought anything yet. So we show you how to show this, to persuade the subconscious. We show you how to talk in emotional terms. That's the language of the subconscious. So you get all of that if you want it. And I don't know why you wouldn't, because you'll spend more in one classified ad that goes south than you'll spend for all of our materials. So, it really doesn't make sense not to have this information, but it hasn't been available until Admanity has come to the marketplace, because it took, like I said, 7 years to create the algorithm. So now we have all these fancy algorithms, and all that means is we'll show you exactly how to do it.
So Admanity came to help humanity in up-leveling the level of the emotion, right, which is beyond the conscious that you even think about, right? So
Yeah, it's the mind you never think about,
it's
and yet
interesting.
it's always thinking
Yeah.
for
But it's
you.
always thinking and responding faster than we can probably even think, right? You're just going with that emotion,
Yeah,
right?
your thinking mind is wonderful. It's 5% of your mind, let's say, according to most studies. Your subconscious is the other 95, and that is a huge part of your brain to ignore. But it's the brain that has your emotions, your fears, your phobias, your wants, your wishes, your desires, your moods. It is the mind that moves you through life. If you didn't have a subconscious, you just lay in the cave until somebody fed you. There'd be you'd have no life. Cavemen would have never exited the cave. So the subconscious is everything. And yet most of the time when small business people sit down to create some sort of message, they do it very, 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 very consciously. And why wouldn't they? That's what they know to do. That's exactly what they know. And yet the decision is going to have to be made subconsciously. It's not the thinking mind, it's the reactive mind. You'll react just like that subconsciously, whether you like this thing or not. And you'll say, yes, give me the red Ferrari. And your conscious mind will wake up and go, what? We just bought a red Ferrari? Why? Are you crazy, subconscious mind? You always go off like that when, I leave you alone for just 1 second. And
Right.
And then the conscious mind will step in and say something like, well, I guess, red Ferraris do hold their value quite well as in statistics and studies. So that was a wise decision. And that's what our conscious mind does. It comes in and says, I hereby bless this message.
Right.
And what the subconscious is sort of like a child jumping on the bed. It wants to do things emotionally. And so as advertisers, our best friend is someone else's subconscious mind. That's the buying mind. That's the mind holding the credit card. And I got tired in publishing, selling ads to people and seeing them do an ad the best they could, but wrong. The ad would fail. They'd call me up. They'd hate my magazine. They'd cancel the ad. Everybody loses. Bad day in the market. And I thought there's got to be a better way. I mean, it's not that these people are dumb. They are not dumb. These are smart business people. They got all their assets on the line. And they don't know how to construct the marketing message. I mean, think about it. You slice every number in accounting to get the lowest cost, the lowest rent, the absolutely perfect payroll. You make sure your taxes, you don't pay 1 penny extra, right? And then you go buy an ad and you blow $5,000 on something that you don't even know. You have no idea if this thing's going to work, and there goes $5,000.
Right.
Nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't do
Right.
that, people. Learn.
Yeah, well, I've been one of those people, penny wise, pound foolish, or something like, cut a stamp off an envelope and just spend $5,000 for a stupid ad that didn't work. And, or post something and not be able to create the one tagline that's going to resonate with everybody. Or, it is a gift to be able to write content, but then to know what you're talking about. That sounds very cool because, ad agencies have that kind of software to do that, right? But now you're making it accessible to the 99% that can't afford, the other high level kind of marketing, right?
We actually work with a lot of ad agencies because they can use our assessment to shorten the amount of time it takes them to advise their clients. They get right to the answers on day one instead of 6 weeks later after asking you 10,000 questions. We can run the assessment in 5 minutes and get that ad agency right to doing what they like to do best, which is creating winning ads for you. And they will. Agencies are great. Agencies have created every winning ad that you've ever seen on TV, from the beer ads to the Nike and, Just Do It and, Marlboro Man and all the stuff that's ever come out was created by agencies. But that's the big companies that can afford that. And trust me, they made $1 million mistakes too. Right. That's why we only studied the winning ads, because you can't study all ads. You must only study the good ones, because those are the ones that humans resonated with for some reason. I'm not going to play psychologist. I'm not a psychologist. But I can tell you there are patterns that humans like. Best example I can give you, do you like James Bond? Mm-hmm. If the answer is yes, so does everyone else.
Right.
And I guarantee you the next James Bond movie is going to be just like the last James Bond movie and the one before it and the one before it. Why? It's a formula. They know it works. They will never, ever change that. And advertising, same thing. There are ad formulas that are like James Bond. They work. Use one of those if you could find yours, which is what we do. But if you can't find yours, it's like playing James Bond movie to somebody that doesn't speak English. They probably don't really get the same effect. It doesn't have the same, emotional grab because they don't understand. It's not their thing. So that's it. You just got to do
like
what
formula.
Humans like.
Right. And it's,
it's a formula.
It's a formula. Right. And so now, and I've just noticed that you've also launched Salesmanity, right? And
yeah,
that's a new thing you got going on.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning
that.
Well, we found a lot of our agencies and the people buying our products were saying, we love this, but is there maybe a less expensive way than buying a full report each time for a client? And quite honestly, we'd like to kind of amaze some people before they become clients so that they would start paying us money. And so we came up with Salesmanity, and all it is, if you sell B2B, listen up, you need to create trust and liking before you can probably sell much. They need to, it's a relationship most likely. And so what we enable you to do is give out our assessment using our software. You get to access the Admanity protocol. You're actually going to be able to send it to somebody else, and it'll be free for them to try it out. And all of the contact information comes back to you. They will book appointments with you, and you can give them more results on themselves. It's very interesting for them. And we're getting about an 80% booking rate right now. So if you send out 10 tests and they take them, 8 people end up, wanting to know more. So they'll book an appointment. And so it becomes a lead gen system that is giving. It's a giving system. In other words, we give out the assessment for free, no obligation. And because it's a gift, there's some reciprocity that comes back to the giver. And that prospect wants to talk with you, will listen to you, tell them about what you do, whatever your B2B service is. And I have B2B companies that are making money hand over fist because they've stopped selling on the first appointment and started to give instead.
There you go.
It
Right.
works so much better.
That
And
works so much better, right?
yeah, and it
Right.
tracks everything and gives you charts and graphs and all this detail. It's everything
Yeah.
you want in software. But what it really does is it makes people like you and trust you. And I don't know,
Right.
that's priceless to me.
That's bottom line right there. Very cool. Well, earlier you talked about where they could get the free assessment, right? Can you
Yes.
we'll put it in the show notes, but can you tell them where they can do that or how to get it?
Yeah. We have a special website that we set up just for your listeners. So if you're listening to this right now, no matter what day it is or what year it is, this should work. If you go to admanity.com, that's ADMANITY, admanity.com / money 911, all one word, money 911. There's a quick little form. You put your name and your email in, and boom, we'll send you a free assessment to your inbox right then and there. No obligation, no cost, no kidding. 5 minutes later, you will be holding answers for your brand absolutely free. And if you like what you read, you can chat with us more about it. But right now, everybody that's listening, please do that. Jot it down, admanity.com / money 911. Go there, get your link, and get started on a better brand for yourself.
That's it right there. That's smart money. And that, you got me, you got my attention because I've been in this, marketing, trying to figure out marketing. I'm not a marketer. I'm the legacy wealth strategist. I show people how to protect their assets and create income they'll never outlive. But to market that's the art. That's another art. That's another gift. So
You're
I'm
what we call an authority brand. Most likely your assessment and it will come out that way. And what that means is that you're a trusted advisor. You're a trusted, respected, right, profession. You're an expert. And the people in these types of fields, doctors, lawyers, financial planning, and all of that, they spend so much time becoming those experts and maintaining the expertise. Who's
right,
got time to study marketing? You're going to go
right.
back to school? I don't think so.
No,
Just
you're right.
get the answers from us. We'll just hand them to you, and you can
Right,
go. It's like having an agency say, here you go. Here's what to do. It's just that
right.
simple.
It's very cool. And I think that'll cut to the chase for a lot of folks. In fact, I know a few agencies, I'll say, watch this show and everybody make sure you subscribe and tell everybody else because there's a lot of authors, speakers, CEOs, C-suite folks that listen to my show, and I think this will help everybody cut to the chase, and you know resonate with the people instead of selling. Right, giving. I like that better.
Yeah. And if you get just for those who are interested, listen, everything we do, no matter how much you like Admanity, it's in the hundreds of dollars. It's not a lot of money. And there's promotions running, and you can always book with us, and we can show you more, and we're happy to help you out for free. So, and even after you purchase, we have customer service available. So if you have questions, we're here to help. We don't charge for it. It's like having an ad agency on retainer. Without the retainer, it's so much better.
That's great. That's great. Well, Brian, it's really been fun having you here today. And just if you might have one thing you want to leave everybody with, just to cap it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as we emerge from this COVID environment, and it's going to take a while for things to get back to where they were.
Right.
And there's a lot of noise in the market right now because everybody's waking up and saying, "Hey, it's time to market again." Hey, the stores are open. And I would tell you that there's going to be more noise now because it's almost because there's been so little before. So it's like everyone jumped in the pool, right?
Right.
Now there's a lot of splashing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a business, it's going to be a little harder right now. If you're experiencing tightness in your business right now, it's because everyone else has jumped in the pool and is splashing around too. And now you have twice as many people than you had even before COVID. And they're not necessarily doing it right, but they are doing it loudly. And you need to be heard above that noise. And I have a little rhyme that I made up to help people remember this. A businessman owes it to those he employs to craft a brand heard above the noise. And he who thinks that emotions are for fools owns only the toolbox and disowns the tools.
Is that great? Yeah.
Get back in the game,
Yeah.
folks, but this time do it smart. Don't just get in the water and splash. Do it the emotional correct way. Do it the way humans want. And you can beat any brand of any size. In fact, one last comment. The biggest fear of all the biggest brands in the world, truly, subconsciously, would be this. What if all the little brands woke up one day and realized how we're doing this? What if they copied our formula that cost us $100 million through trial and error to get? What if they all started doing it right? That's a fear of the billion-dollar brand. So be that company, be that little engine that could, right? And do it right. They'll never notice you winning until you've already won. So emotions are for winners, folks. Learn how to use them. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, heard above the noise, right? And everybody can prosper, so there's plenty for everybody. And everybody can, lift while you climb, and check it out. Give us that link one more time.
Just go to addmanatee.com and then put a / money 911. Hit enter, and you'll go to a little order form. It's just put in your name and email, and off you go. It's just that simple, and it takes five less time than it took Starbucks to make your coffee this morning. You could have the answers for your brand. That's all. Do I have to say it with any greater motivation than that? All right, your latte is not worth what your brand is worth. Go get the answers.
Go get it and cut to the chase and save money too, because you don't waste it with all that other noise. Right. Brian, it's been a joy to have you here, and I'm excited. I hope everybody checks it out. It really is really sounds great. I'm going to. All right.
Yay.
All right. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Kris.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. There's so much to learn about healthy money. I hope today's discussion brings you one step closer to securing and protecting your future. So you can get started on the right foot, go to meetwithkrismiller.com and schedule your free financial fitness strategy session. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to Money 911 so you don't miss our next episode, which includes health, wealth, and peace of mind.